What up, guys? This is July. Today I'm going to show you how to get your kick to cut through your mix. This was a request from D-Steph. So if you have any other requests, anybody, let me know and I'll get to it as soon as possible. So the first thing I do when I'm mixing my beats to get the kick to punch through is get my levels. So what I'm going to do is solo the kick, because the kick is always supposed to be the loudest. Well, not necessarily always, but in hip hop and trap productions, the kick is often the focal point of the beat. So I'm gonna solo my kick, and then I'm gonna get it hitting about -5 RMS, and I'm gonna show you how to be able to know where it's hitting. So I'm gonna go to my rack. And once I get to my rack, you'll notice this big meter up here that's always above your master section. So what you want to do is make sure that it's on big meter, because if it's not, it'll be showing one of these or all of these, or however you have it set up in your template, or however it automatically opens. So make sure you have big meter selected, and then from there, just I usually measure with the blue one, the value meter. It's easy to see -5 on this. So this is what I go by, actually, not RMS. So with that, I'm going to highlight a section of my kick and make sure that it's peaking at or about -5. So as you notice, it's not showing up in the big meter. So if for some reason it's not doing that for you, just come over to Audio IO and make sure you have this one selected, or whichever one your interface may be going to. It's way too loud. This is just so that you have headroom in your track and you're not clipping. Now that's a good level. So after I get that level, I go mix my other drums. So after my kick, I'll be mixing my clap. And once you have the kick, you don't necessarily have to look at the big meter anymore. Just whichever screen you prefer to mix, the mixer or the rack, it works. Next is my 808. So never let your 808 overpower your kick unless that's your intention. So that sounds good to me. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Next, I start adding in my melodies, and just as with the 808, never let anything overpower your kick. Okay, so I feel that this is kind of small, so I'm going to try something real quick. I'm going to add a spreader. By the way, I did bounce my mixer channels down so that I could have more CPU. When you're mixing a song and you have all your VSTs in and everything, it takes a lot from your PC or your Mac, whatever it may be, and you want to have as much room to do whatever processing effects that you want to do without having CPU problems, overloads, and stuff like that. Gonna go ahead and add my backdrop for kicks and giggles, as Av McCree would say. Kicks and giggles. A camo trap drop. And essentially what that did was make it wider. It's in a sense a stereo spreader, hence the name spreader. So to explain that, what I did was I created my own combinator. I split the audio into two, and then I had half of the audio going into a delay, the other half going into a delay, and then following the delays, both of the delays went into a unison, and then back into the merger to create the sound that you hear. If you want me to explain that more, let me know. Whoops. Okay, so what I just did was at first I was mixing in headphones, and then I switched over to my monitors. So you always want to listen in multiple, what do you call it? The word is like gone right now. Different sources. So say in the car, studio monitors, you want to try your basic laptop speakers that come in your laptop. What is that called? Jeez. Your internal speakers. So you want to try internal speakers, headphones. Try all sorts of things to see how your mix is translating, and then apply it to the mix and make it fit how you want to fit. So as you can see, it's more than just the kick that is prominent in this track. It's the drums overall, but the kick is, however, the loudest audio signal, the loudest instrument in the beat. It's also the loudest drum. I didn't let anything overpower it. So if you want your kick to punch through the mix, just make sure that you mix relative to your kick. So Another thing you can do after you get your levels is perhaps add some saturation to your kick. So this is just going to make it punch a little bit more. I'm going to solo it. I did solo it so that you could hear what it's doing. This is before. Any of these, whichever you like best. Then of course you want to check your VU meter and see where it's hitting. See, it got really loud, much louder than it was before. It's hitting at about 0, and we're gonna want to turn that down. So there we go. Of course, once you start changing the effects, you're gonna have to change everything else. So if you want to add any saturation, or you could even add a transient shaper. If you want to add anything like that to your kick, do that prior to your actual leveling of everything else. So I'm gonna show you what a transient shaper looks like and what it does, if I can remember who made the transient shaper that I actually use. Transient shaper. So I'm gonna bypass the saturation knob. Okay, so what I just did was go back to my previous mix levels and undo creating the soft tube saturation so that I wouldn't have to figure out what my levels were before. So a transient shaper or envelope shaper, it allows you to alter the attack, sustain. Some have other options. So hear that, how that increases the attack of the kick. You could also add saturation through this plugin. So yeah, that's about it. You're not limited to saturation or transient shaper. You could do just about anything. Number one thing you want to do before you even making your beats is make sure that you have good drums. If you don't have good drums, then you won't be able to, you'll have to do a lot of processing in order to get a good sound out of your drums, which is why I'm creating a drum kit right now, so look out for that. You'll be able to use that in your production. So let me know if you have any requests or any types of sound you want, and I'll create them as well and put them in the drum pack. Alright guys, so that's about it. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the comment section. Hit the like button if you like this video. Let me know what you would like to see next. Any suggestions you have, any questions, just let me know. And have a good night and a good new year.